Today's Steelers Talk video is sponsored by HexClad. Get 10% off some premium cookware today when you go to hexclad.com/chatsports. And on today's show, I'm going to be breaking down 4 Steelers trade predictions that I think could actually happen before the 2023 NFL trade deadline. You're not going to want to miss this, people. I'm telling you right now, this is going to get spicy. I've been waiting to do this video for at least the last couple of weeks. So make sure you stick around to the very end if you're a real one. But first, before we get into these trade predictions, make sure you click that subscribe button, because if the Steelers make a move, if Omar Khan makes a trade here before the NFL trade deadline, we are going to give you guys a video, and we'll probably actually go live on trade deadline day if it happens next Tuesday. So make sure you click that subscribe button for me right now. Turn on your notifications, because if the Steelers make a move, we're going to be covering you guys with a video. Now, before I give out these predictions, I am going to say the chances that all 4 of these trades actually end up happening is very slim, right? Trades are among the hardest things to predict in sports. Just keep that in mind. But I definitely think that these 4 predictions that I'm going to be laying out today are definitely possibilities for the Pittsburgh Steelers as we approach Tuesday's deadline. So, I think it's important to kind of look at the current cap space right now, because it really hinders what the Steelers are going to be able to do in terms of bigger contracts with bigger base salaries like that. So right now they got about $2.8 million in additional cap space to use. So you got to keep that in mind here with the Steelers and the players that they need to target. So let's do my number 1 prediction here, and this is the one I really want them to do. I really hope that once again, Omar Khan pulls off an incredible fleecing of the Chicago Bears here by sending a 3rd-round pick and Levi Wallace to Chicago in exchange for Jaylon Johnson. I know that Patrick Surtain is the big name that's being thrown around in Steelers Twitter, but I'd rather have Jaylon Johnson, and here are some reasons why. Right now, according to Pro Football Focus grading, Jaylon Johnson is the number 2 corner in the National Football League, and Matt Eberflus's cover 2 heavy scheme. That's out of 115 NFL cornerbacks. That is excellent. He also fits exactly what the Steelers want to do on defense, whether it's press, whether it's zone. This guy can do everything, which is something that I really like about Jaylon Johnson's game. Steelers love to go to that Tampa 2 look on 3rd downs. Jaylon Johnson has been playing in that cover 2 type system here in Chicago for the last 2 years and has been excellent at that. He would be a perfect fit. And then also, he's not going to be nearly as expensive as someone like Patrick Surtain, who's still 23 years old. The Broncos are going to want 2 first-round picks at least for that guy. I think you can get Jaylon Johnson for a 3rd round, maybe a 2nd-round pick, but hopefully Omar can work his magic here and make it a 3rd-rounder. And then you send Levi Wallace, who has been absolutely abysmal here in Pittsburgh, send him to Chicago, where he's actually a better fit. They run a lot more zone there in Chicago, lots of cover 2. Levi would probably fit in that system better than here with the Pittsburgh Steelers, where it's a lot of man-match coverages. Take a look at right now the cornerbacks that are playing for the Steelers. It's not good enough, especially because Joey Porter Jr., your highest-graded corner, is barely playing at this point. He did play more against the Rams. Indicators are looking like he's going to play more as the season goes on. But Patrick Peterson, he looks a little old and slow at this point. Levi Wallace has been even worse. Chandon Sullivan has been the worst for the Steelers this year. That's why they're putting Minkah Fitzpatrick in the slot instead of Sullivan. You need a nice refresher here in the Steelers secondary, and you can fix it right now by trading for Jaylon Johnson. Make him your number 1 corner, and look at how much this has improved right now. You got Jaylon Johnson and Joey Porter Jr. as your cornerback duo for the next 5 years, in my opinion. They're both grading super high. They're both really good in press coverage. They can get right back to playing Pittsburgh Steelers bump and run football here on defense. And then you slap Patrick Peterson there in the slot. I think that's where he's more suitable. Nowadays, he's not quite as fast to play on the outside. I think he's more suitable there in the slot, kind of play more as a roamer, kind of do that. I think his PFF grade would go up exponentially if you move him to the slot full time. And to me, this makes perfect sense. This trade makes perfect sense. You swap the salaries of Levi Wallace and Jaylon Johnson so you can afford it. Chicago gets another day 2 draft pick there with that 3rd-round draft pick. And the Steelers get their number 1 corner right now, Jaylon Johnson, along with an up-and-coming star, in my opinion, in Joey Porter Jr. This is something that would absolutely make an impact for the Steelers defensively without having to break the bank and mortgage your future for a guy like Patrick Surtain. Now, coming up here, Should the Steelers trade for a running back? I'm going to let you know the running back that I think is the most likely to get traded to the Pittsburgh Steelers here before Tuesday's deadline. But first, I want to tell you about today's sponsor, which is Hexclad. And let me tell you, these are the best pans on the freaking market, guys. Hexclad has revolutionized the cookware industry with a hybrid pan that gives you all the convenience and cleanup of a nonstick, the versatility of your grandma's cast iron, and a lifetime warranty just in case you find a way to destroy them. Go to hexclad.com/chatsports for 10% off today. Hexclad truly checks every single box when it comes to picking your cookware. They're metal utensil safe, dishwasher safe, and oven safe up to 500 degrees. But don't just take my word for it, people. Celebrity chef Gordon Ramsay uses Hexclad pans in his very own home kitchen. This is what Gordon has to say about Hexclad. The sear I can get with these pans is incredible, with absolutely no stick. The temperature control is utter perfection, and the cleanup is effortless. I love using Hexclad at home, and let me tell you, man, these things are the sexiest pans on the market. This is my very own Hexclad pan that I brought from home. Cassie and I pan fry steaks on this baby twice a week, along with chicken once a week. And look at this thing. It looks like it's coming right out of the box, perfectly easy to clean. And then let me tell you, I've made the best steaks and chicken thighs that I've made in my entire life on this pan. So score points at home today. It's time to stop ordering delivery food and start cooking like a big boy with Hexclad today. Real cuisine isn't made in a microwave, people. It's cooked in a Hexclad. So for a limited time only, get 10% off with our special link, hexclad.com/chatsports. That's 10% off at hexclad.com/chatsports. Boom! Derrick Henry to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Could it happen? I would say probably not, but hey, if I'm going to predict a running back to be sent to the Pittsburgh Steelers here, I'm going to pick Derrick Henry, King Henry himself, in exchange for Najee Harris and a 6th-round pick to the Tennessee Titans. Let's face it, guys, Tennessee, they just gave Kevin Byard to the Philadelphia Eagles for a bag of peanuts. All right, they're not looking for much here. They're not looking for 3rd, 4th-round picks, right, for a running back. I think that they want somebody in Najee Harris that they feel is a similar type of running back, a younger version of what Derrick Henry used to be, and bring him in because he's a good scheme fit for what they like to do in Tennessee. He's younger. He can be more of a sustainable option for them, and overall they see him as somebody that could be a replacement for Derrick Henry long term. And the reason why the Steelers are going to want this move is because right now is their time for winning. The defense is really good. You got the weapons on offense. Hopefully you got your quarterback in Kenny Pickett for the future. And right now it seems like the Steelers are looking for a running back to kind of be the centerpiece of this offense, to be a ground and pound offense that completely takes the lifeblood out of opposing defenses and just takes their will to live. Derrick Henry has been the best running back in the National Football League at doing just that over the last 5 years. And you look at the production between Derrick Henry and Najee Harris right now, tell me you wouldn't want Derrick Henry over Najee right now as your star running back. If you're going to be centering your offense around a running back, I mean, Najee Harris only has 1 touchdown, 50 yards per game. He's supposed to be the centerpiece here? I don't think so, man. Derrick Henry is somebody that I understand. He's 29 years old. Running backs usually don't last too long after the age of 30. But even if you get 2-3 good years out of Derrick Henry, hopefully by that point, Kenny Pickett is fully developed enough to be able to carry this offense. And Derrick Henry right now can turn this team into a competitor because you got that elite defense. If you can pair that with a soul-crushing run game, I'm telling you right now that the Pittsburgh Steelers would be a real competitor here in the AFC, even though they might not have a Patrick Mahomes or a Josh Allen. They could completely completely dominate opponents with Derrick Henry in their corner here. But really, I think that the more likely scenario here is that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to stick with Najee Harris. I really do think that. I think that they like Najee. I think that he's going to be their guy moving forward. Whether or not that's the right decision, I'll leave that up to you guys to debate. But for me, I think the Steelers, if I had to bet on it, I think they're going to keep Najee Harris as the number 1 running back here, at least for this year. But let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. Pick a number 1 running back to usher this team into the next era of Steelers football. Type D if you want Derrick Henry, or if you want Najee, type N down there in the comments. Now, this is one that I would love to see the Steelers do right here. Go and get offensive tackle Trent Brown from the New England Patriots and then trade away Chukwuma Okorafor and a 4th-round draft pick. And the reason why you do this is you solidify a super important position on the offensive line, both offensive tackle spots. You got Broderick Jones as your future left tackle, and now that you send Chukwuma Okorafor away, you can just plug Trent Brown right in at right tackle. He's been absolutely fantastic this year with the New England Patriots, but plain simply, the Steelers need a change at offensive tackle. We all know this. You take a look at the Pro Football Focus grades right now for left tackle Dan Moore Jr. and right tackle Chukwuma Okorafor. This isn't cutting it, guys. 71st and 48th? Are we freaking joking each other here? This is terrible. And then if you plug Trent Brown in right now, who's currently the 2nd highest graded offensive tackle in football, into this offensive line, it makes it instantly better. And I really don't think he's going to be that expensive. There's a lot of outlets right now saying that teams are getting Trent Brown for like a 5th-round pick. I think if the Patriots are getting a power right tackle like Chukwuma Okorafor plus a 4th-round draft pick, that's something that they're not going to deny there in terms of a trade. I think that would get you right in the thick of it there. I think there's going to be a lot of teams vying for the services of Trent Brown because lots of teams need tackle help. But I think the Steelers, with that 4th-round pick plus Chukwuma Okorafor type deal, I think they're going to be right there towards the top in terms of what they can offer the New England Patriots. And Trent Brown would be an absolute game changer, especially if Broderick Jones turns into what I think he's going to be able to be. And then also there's the added benefit of when you trade Chukwuma Okorafor, you save $10.5 million in cap space for this year. So it opens up even more opportunities for Omar Khan down the line in case they want to go get a free agent, in case they want to make another trade. Trading Chukwuma Okorafor, if he can pull it off, would be an incredible move by Omar Khan. And if he can do that and get Trent Brown in the process, that'd be one hell of a move by the Khan Otters himself, Omar Khan. Now, coming up here, I got my final Steelers trade prediction to share with you guys. But before I share that, do me a favor. If you're feeling generous today and you want to help out the show, we really appreciate everybody that clicks that thumbs up icon. It lets the YouTube algorithm know that you're enjoying this content and that YouTube should push this out to other Steelers fans like yourselves. So we really do appreciate all of your support. Do me a favor. Click that thumbs up icon right now. Now, the final prediction here on today's video is that the Steelers go out and get strong safety, hybrid linebacker, slot corner type, versatile chess piece, Jeremy Chinn, in exchange for, I know people aren't going to like this one, Damontae Kazee and a 2024 5th-round pick. Now, the reason why I am making this trade, if I am Omar Khan, is that you want to put Minkah Fitzpatrick back in that free safety spot full time. But in order to do that, you need to get somebody to do his current role in the defense, which is to play in the box, to play at slot corner, to be an enforcer in the middle of the defense and get tackles because, let's face it, the Steelers have had some tackling issues, especially against the run this year. Jeremy Chinn, this is what he does, man. He's a hybrid linebacker, a big safety that can still play half-field coverage if you ask him to, and he can play in the slot. He can play anywhere that you want, and this allows Minkah Fitzpatrick to do what he does best, which is to be a ball hawk, to play in the middle of the defense, to read the quarterback's eyes and go get interceptions. Right now, in his current role, Minkah has no interceptions this year. That needs to change, and I think the way you do that is you trade for a versatile chess piece that can play strong safety, that can play linebacker, that can play slot corner. And guess what? Jeremy Chinn does that. Unfortunately, it does mean you have to trade your current free safety, Damontae Kazee, away. That's something that I didn't want to do, but it's the only way to make the money work in this particular situation. And at the end of the day, if you're trading for somebody to play slot corner and strong safety and box safety, you're not going to need another free safety. Minkah's going to be playing there full time, so there really isn't a whole lot of purpose for Damontae Kazee because Jeremy Chinn's going to be playing in there. Keanu Neal's going to be playing in there. Damontae Kazee is more of a free safety. This deal allows him to go be himself and allows the Steelers to be their best selves moving forward. So I think it's a win-win for everybody involved. Now predict it for me down there in the comments section or down here on today's video. Will the Steelers trade for someone before the deadline? If you don't think so, like the video. If you do think that they trade for somebody, comment who you think they trade for down there in the comments section. Thank you guys so much for all of your support. Make sure you click that subscribe button right now because if the Steelers end up making any of these moves here or any other move, we're going to be going live with our reaction here on the show. So really do appreciate all of your support. I will see you guys later. And as always, here we go, Steelers.